Hello traders, right, it's a while since I made a video, so I thought I would put one up while I'm waiting for my coffee to cool down. The reason I've not made videos for quite a while is I've covered everything. With over 800 videos now, I've covered absolutely everything that we can possibly worry about. That's 9 o'clock alarm going on my phone, sorry about that. So, first thing I do in the morning, I've got my alarm set for 5:50, 10 minutes before the H4 bar. Because as you know, I love to trade the H4 new momentum, and what I'm looking for, actually a ton of momentum has piled in on pound pairs here. This was all mostly this pale blue colour. So what I'm looking for first thing in the morning is that's really interesting actually. Let's have a quick look at some of those pound pairs. The lower figure on here suggests ultra bearishness, so I like to see 15s and so on and so forth. That means it's really kicking off to the downside. Likewise over here I like to see 70s and 80s. The more, it would be a real bonus if we could have had them all added up, so we got a clear aggregate as the out of all these ones. The lower the number obviously of them all added up would be the more powerful moving pair, but in a perfect world. GA, let's have a look at GA. Pound Aussie dollar. I should know where this is by now, but I keep changing my template, so apologies for that. Yeah, absolutely crashing, you can see that. So lovely. This dashboard is what I was going to talk about with this particular video as well. So you know, I mean, you couldn't make this stuff up. Trades are everywhere. Perfect RSI, bust, pullback, break and close down. Trigger there. We've got all this information on this dash here. We've got the current bar is 11 pips. Previous one was probably a bit less. In fact, it wasn't. It was 12. So, you know, this thing gives us so much information, but I'll talk about that in a moment. So, first thing this morning, alarm goes off. I look at this. There was no colour on here whatsoever, just the odd green and red, or a couple of green and reds. That's how I want to find it. First thing in the morning before the H4 open, close, call it what you like, close and open. Then I look at this to see whether we've got any interesting bars like this gold huge bar. There were no interesting bars today, but that doesn't matter because every one of these window panes tells a story. Like this one here, dollar is bouncing off, dollar CAD rather, is bouncing off some sort of area there. So if we wanted to go and look at that, we'll just quickly fly to dollar CAD and see what's going on there. Well, let's have a look at the H4. Yeah, we can clearly see now what's going on there. So it wouldn't surprise me if this breaks out to the long side. Oops, that wasn't very good. Breaks out to the long side, but you know, we shall wait and see what the charts tell us. Oh god, alarm going off everywhere. So back to the dashboard. So first thing this morning, this was really boring. If you look at my Twitter feed, you'll see that for today, which is October the 7th. And what I wait for is then I can go and study a few charts after using the H4, draw a few levels. I like gold because I can make 10 to 15 pips in the blink of an eye on that thing. And because of all the new dashboards and new study and new patterns that I play, it's a much, it used to be called, I used to call it the beast, but now using momentum and the RSI we can tame that beast. So first stop was there. Next stop was look at that, look for the most interesting, but always try and find gold anyway, as I've just explained. Then open the charts, do the analysis. As you can see, you can clearly see, we could look at gold H4 actually as well, because that was highlighted there. See what's going on there. Yeah, I mean, we are at a level that could cause a bit of a pullback. We've also got what I would call a line chart 3CR, where the candle is above the line chart, a close above. So, you know, a pullback of that magnitude from there to where we are currently would represent about 16, 17 pips, well, 20 pips say. So if you can't get 5 or 6 pips out of that, then you should go and do something more interesting or more worthwhile for yourself. So that's that. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, this thing, yeah. I mean, this is absolutely incredible. 15-minute. Every time I look at this, I learn something new from it. You know, you've got your averages for all the numbers of bars there. So first thing that becomes really, really apparent is when the power piles in, then you get these huge bars. So not only are we able to see each and every bar and the accumulation and the averages and so on and so forth, we are also able to see the impulse bar size. So, you know, impulse, it's broken out. That's an impulse. Then we've got two little pullbacks. Then we've got an impulse. Then we've got a pullback, or you know, sideways. Then we've got an impulse, and each of these is virtually equal. And just eyeballing them, they look about 25, 30 pips. No, I got that wrong, didn't I? But 15 pips. So it proves I don't make these things pre-edited, as it were. So yeah, 15 pips, 8 pips, 15 pips, 10 pips, 15 pips, 10 pips, and so on and so forth. So you know, just by that, if you're entering a trade based on this, using the lower time frames, of course, you've got a 40 pip candle there, roughly. And if you can't, as I say, make 8 or 10 pips out of that, then you know, as I say, go and find something else to do. But what I love about this is that you can, you know, my original sort of arbitrary target was 5 or 6 pips, and then it was 7 or 8 pips, and then because I started specialising in gold, it became 8 to 15 pips, as it were. And you know, when you see this, it gives you the confidence. You might use the 5-minute to enter using, and so the size of this has been eaten away already by waiting for the 5-minute. And if I remember correctly, this was about 11 pips it was at when I entered. So but you know, you should be able to easily get 11, 12, 15 pips out of this, because the last two strong moves, following all the rules, this is a 2B reversal of course, have produced these huge great big bars. So that is another bonus of this thing. So just a quick roundup again, guys. The reason I'm not making so many videos is because everything has been covered here. If I get new stuff or come across new ideas, then I'll obviously make videos for them. But don't think I'm not being interested in doing this free teaching, as it were. It's not the case at all. It's just that I'm repeating myself, and everything is there. So use the search facility on my YouTube channel to find stuff you need to know about what I do. 3 candle reversals, as always, will always be the bedrock of what I do. And then the RSI momentum, bust, pullback, break and close above the bust level. That again is a massive thing. Even if you'd consider getting in here, providing you got space to known resistance on the left hand side, then that you can clearly see, you know, and I'd never say just jump in late, but this will all be about the time of day and so on and so forth. Even if you'd entered there, you could have got 5 or 6 pips. So of course it could have gone back on itself, but we did have the momentum growth using the multi-time frame momentum. That's another thing I talk about at length on Twitter. That's all covered in previous videos as well. Everything I've done has been covered in detail on previous videos, so please use the search facility there. Use the refined search on Twitter. And so just to summarize, tomorrow morning 5:50 alarm goes off. If you know, I'm hungry enough to want a trade at that time of the morning, depends. If I've traded the Asian session, then I just switch the alarm off and roll over. So check this out for wait for momentum to pile in. Check this out to see what looks interesting, quickly, easily to see these interesting ones. Then jump to a chart, start drawing levels on it. You know, suppose we were here, we just printed that candle. All I would do is set an alert there. You can see it over there, and set an alert there. And there it is there. You can drag and drop these things. So that's what I literally did this morning. Set it above and below a level. If it broke out either way, all I know is that when momentum comes in, if that turns green on gold substantially, like this morning, it was all mediocre numbers. If that turned green, I'd be looking for longs. Look at my 3CR, look at my RSI histo. If it turned red, once again, same thing. Look at my 3CRs, look at my RSI histo, everything's covered in previous videos, and exactly what I did this morning, took the trade. So thanks for watching, have a great day.